Okay, so idea I've had for a long time about a series of videos about cooking for people with older people or people with weak teeth. You know, maybe taking some regular recipes and toning them down a bit so that they're not so crunchy. Although I love crunchy food, used to love it anyway, but now got nothing. Got nothing because, dentistry in America sucks. So anyway, going to start with a few simple ones today. Going to do a wonton Chinese thing, because rice is always soft. There's no reason you can't take your ingredients and prepare them in a way that we can still enjoy, even with a minimum of teeth or teeth that are not as adequate as they used to be. Anyway, enjoy. We're going to start with some cabbage, which I've taken here, clearly chopped up. You want to chop it as fine as you can chop it. A lot of people like to grate their food. Grating the food is perfect, especially for our purposes. So the smaller and the finer you can get it, the softer it's going to get at the end. Now, the trick is to get it as soft as you can, but at the same token, keep it at not so soft that it's mush. Rice, got the rice cooker killing it, man. If you don't have a rice cooker, you're just totally not living your life, man. Why make rice difficult? You pop it in, you follow the directions. Generally 2-to-1 water to rice. This is basmati rice, which I love. I mean, I love, this is jasmine rice, which I love. So I like the fragrance, I like the size. It's not too big, it's not too small. Anyway, rice. All right, so pan, we're going to start with a little bit. I like to use the pan, any of these things, but any kind of oil will work. I try to stay away from the olive oils when I'm doing Chinese or Asian foods. It's just, the olive is not something that you find there a lot. Yeah, we have 16 wontons, frozen wontons, that have been sitting in this bowl for maybe a little bit too long. Anyway, we're going to heat up our pan, get it nice and hot. One thing you really want to do when you're doing your rice, you got to remember to fluff rice. I mean, it comes out of the cooker fine. When you fluff your rice, it gives it a little bit more volume. Certainly gives it a little bit of air between the things. Keeps it from getting too sticky. Too sticky is too bad. We got our pan nice and hot. Okay, and we got our pan nice and hot. You're going to want to add your wontons. You just want to kind of give them a little bit of a brown, a little bit of caramelize. Nothing too hard. You don't want to get them too hard or they get too crunchy, and then that defeats the whole purpose. So a little bit of a flip, give them a little bit of a shake. Nice and sticky. Okay, now that we got them kind of going a little bit, we're going to add a little bit of a liquid to them. I love the Bakken's Japanese barbecue sauce, the bomb. Cabbage with a little bit of fresh ginger carved up into it. You can also add a little garlic. We're going to stir this all together. A little more seasoning, everything but bagel from Trader Joe's. I love the really good on the Asians because it's got the sesames in it. Pretty much good on everything now. It's addictive. All right, we're gonna plate this up. Cup of rice. Zhuzh our thing around with a little bit of a flare here, a little flare there, mostly around the edges. Our rice in the middle. Then you can mix as you see fit. Enough of this, enough of that. There you have it, Asian rice with some vegetables. A little cut on the meat over here. taste, a little taste over here with this rice. And a little extra sauce. Oh man, and soft but not overly soft. Totally enjoyed it. If I can eat this, anybody can. Have a great day.